Good afternoon. We are at the Reed property. We're going to be completing a repairability test. Give you an overview of the property here. We're going to be on the front slope, which is south. We have this wind damage shingle that we'll complete the repairability test on, and we'll see how it affects all of those surrounding shingles. I'll give you an overview of all of those surrounding shingles before we get started, showing you the current condition. All of these shingles could potentially be damaged during the repairability test. So we'll take another look once we are complete and see those results. For my tools, I'll be using a roof snake, flat bar, putty knife, and hammer. And we have this 45-degree speed square that we'll use to give us a visual for what 45 degrees looks like. I'll slide the speed square underneath the damaged shingle. We'll get a visual for 45 degrees. So that'll be 45 degrees there, and then all of those shingles that we'll be lifting throughout the repairability test, we'll keep them at 45 degrees or below. We'll get started by unsealing all of those shingles that we need to. We'll use the putty knife to unseal the top shingle. Then we'll use the flat bar to unseal the rest of those. See if there's any differences with those tools. Now we'll start removing those nails. Got all those nails out and that damaged shingle out. Slide that new shingle in, get it all lined up nicely. Now we'll start getting some nails back in there. We'll be using the roof snake for that. All right, we're all complete with that repairability test. I'll give you another overview of all of those surrounding shingles. And we'll take a closer look at all of those shingles right above that damaged shingle that we took out. Those ones we had to manipulate in order to complete the repairability test. And we can see along these tabs here, due to the lifting and just how brittle these shingles are, we can see that small amount of lifting caused stress fractures to those tabs. You can see where the matting on the shingle broke. Those stress fractures will be damaging the integrity of those shingles, making them weaker. You can feel where they're much weaker in those areas with the stress fractures. What that's going to do is not allow these shingles to do what they're designed to do as best as they should. These shingles are designed to shed water. The matting is the main component for that. So with the matting having all of those stress fractures, those water shedding capabilities are going to be compromised. Then we'll take a look underneath, see if we're seeing any mat transfer. Looks like we can see some mat transfer right there. You can see where that piece of matting was torn off the bottom of that tab. You can see exposed fiberglass there due to that mat transfer. So that'll also be damaging the integrity of those shingles as it's tearing pieces of matting off the bottom of them. And then on top of, you can see more right there, on top of damaging the integrity of those shingles as well, it's gonna also make it more difficult for those shingles to reseal properly once repairs have been made. You can see all those pieces of matting stuck to the tar line there. All of that exposed fiberglass there. And it is starting to rain, so I'm gonna hurry up here. We have mat transfer along both these rows of shingles. When that mat transfer occurs is when we're unsealing the shingles, and we unsealed with the putty knife on this row and the flat bar on this row. We can see mat transfer along both those rows of shingles. So either tool that's going to be used, it looks like it's going to be impossible to get around that mat transfer. So with all of those damages that occurred, those damages are going to be cause for potential water intrusion. And we have an additional 3 damaged shingles, shingle 5, 6, and 7. So I do not believe repairs are feasible to this roof, as all of those repairs completed to the wind damaged shingles are going to be left in a condition like this, and this insured will have potential leak hazards all over their roof. On top of that, they're going to have an additional 3 damaged shingles. So I do not believe this roof is repairable, and thank you for your time.